nursery, you're welcome. Our mentors, you're welcome. The mentees, you're welcome. And all other guests, please, you're welcome. This is Iawrt Uganda chapter. Iawrt Uganda chapter is a chapter of Iawrt International. Iawrt is International Association of Women in Radio and Television. We are carrying out a mentorship program where we want to champion the agenda of gender mainstreaming in the media. As media women, it is our responsibility to hold our flags high as media women. Otherwise, we couldn't have the grounds to push for the rights of others, for the space of others, when ourselves we don't know our rights. We want to have a pool of media mentors and mentees all around the country, so that we are able, wherever you go in the country, we have ambassadors who are able to push for the space of women. We want in every place to have mentors of mentees, mentors of mentors, and mentors of mentees, so that in every corner of this country we have women who have the flag of gender mainstreaming, of reducing the gap between the women and men in terms of opportunities. We are saying that under Iawrt mentorship program, we first of all have to know our rights. We have to know our space. We have to know where we stand before we start going out the streets. Before we start going to the radios, the TVs, and also in papers and social media spaces to start demanding for rights. Yet among ourselves, we know, all of you, you know that our spaces are completely compromised when we go back where we work from. What are we supposed to do to close into our spaces? What are the legal frameworks that will help us stand up and take up our spaces? Until we get to know those parameters, we can't stand up and claim we are trying to reduce the space between the men and women when it comes to opportunities. As Iawrt Uganda, it is our responsibility to take the front line, to be the people who always have to make sure that even our colleagues who are still in the training institutions, the sources who are women, you know, the problem that even when women are in positions of responsibility and you want a source, they always refer to another man. He's sometimes a deputy, or if he's a junior officer. Until we know where our fellow women are, who have the rights, who have the powers, who have the knowledge and skills to push the agenda of women, we can never do our work. So this workshop is meant to enlighten us on what is exactly we're supposed to do. Who are the people in the areas of responsibilities that we are supposed to interact with, so that we can understand our challenges. This workshop is meant to help us, like we have Lillian is the editor of Radio 1 and Alcohols. But most of you may not know, you could be listening to Radio 1, we don't know that even the chief news editor is a woman. We have so many other senior reporters here. We have so many senior reporters who are women. But most of you don't know. And even we are saying, even when you're a senior reporter, if you're a chief editor, like Lillian and other people in this room, what are you doing to make sure that when a female journalist comes in the newsroom, you're doing an extra responsibility to make sure that these female journalists, first of all, when they are reporting stories, they look at the plight of a woman. For example, let me give you an example. If you get a story that is humiliating a woman, please, as a woman, if you know the legal framework that deals with gender, you should be able to write a story that is balanced up. You should be able to write a story that does not only pull a woman down, but create that gender equity. Because if somebody is doing something that goes against the social settings, I mean, there are two people in the acting. Why do you show off a woman's panty, a woman's private part, when the man's chest is only actually showing the face and only the chest? Those are the things we don't know about. Those stereotypes in the media. This business of going to the newsroom, they are deploying you, and you say, me, I usually put on high heels, but I've never compromised my job just because of my high heels. I put on high heels because I know I can move with them. But you know, they are sending you a story, like there's a riot in town. And you say, as a city again, I'm a woman, I'm putting on my heels. Automatically the boy will. And you know what? When I'm putting this comfort training, what happens? They'll pick a boy because he's the one who is always available. You get? If opportunity is always in the, sometimes you let the editors have no choice because you're not available. You know, delegation comes with availability. You must be available to be able to be delegated. But then availability is not about physical being available. It's being able to take up opportunities when they come, take up responsibility, take up challenges. So what we're saying as women journalists, let's take that self-pity part and put it aside, and let's take up the mantle and fight for our space. We can have ministers as women ministers in spaces. We can have executives as female executives, but then special groups as if we have any inability around us. We don't have any inability, but it is important that we start pushing for spaces, not because we are weak, but because we demand for it. That's why we are saying rediscover to impose. Let's rediscover our potentials, rediscover our where we're weak, where we're strong. We have to do an assessment to know what are our strong points, what are our weak points. Then we come up with a conclusive approach to make sure that we make ourselves better and strong. That is why we coined that thing, rediscover to impose. We know everybody, every one of us in this room is somewhere. But there's a reason why you're not breaking through that ceiling. Why? But you're somewhere because you have some strength within you. So you want to sit down and make an assessment. We look at our weaknesses. Why are we there? We are there because we are journalists, because we are good writers, maybe because we are good speakers, maybe because we can present ourselves better. That's why we're there. But why is that we're not breaking through the decision tables? Now, if you don't know why we're not breaking through the decision tables, then we will find a solution. We'll find approaches that will make us break through. So when we're in the decision tables, we'll be able to know what are the rights of women. We'll be able to know how do we push the agenda that reduces the space between women and men. When opportunities come, how do we help our fellow girls, our fellow ladies, to take up academic excellence opportunities? Because if I'm promoting, I once said in the newsroom, but if I'm promoting somebody and we want somebody who has a degree in something, a postgraduate in something, and my girls in the newsroom, they have settled, they got their diploma and sat back just because they are able to get a salary, just because they are able to get some transport refund back. I mean, naturally you fall out because you don't have the academic excellence that is required to take up that opportunity. So we have to make that assessment. The mentees in this room, that is the purpose why you're here. Know that I'm a good writer, I'm a good cameraman, but apart from that, because to get to know that you're a good writer, I have to first look at your articles. But then I'm looking for somebody who has maybe a diploma in this, a degree in this. Those are the basics you must have, you get. So that when the opportunities come, you're able to push yourself. Let's look at assessment. If your problem is self-presentation, how you present yourself, let's talk about that. If your problem is integrity, let's talk about that. Those are attributes that can unlearned. So that is the reason why we're calling the mentees. And the mentors, it is your responsibility to listen. It is, a mentorship process is about learning from each other, but helping the other to pull up. At the end of the day, we believe that within a certain period of time, at least by when we make 12 months, we'll be able to look back and say, oh, I mentored these people. In TV now, when we see stories, it is not about women being naked. Somebody was dancing at the podium, then the skirt went off. I mean, she had a song, she sang. Why is that it's all about the skirt? And to an extent, somebody said that she just opened her skirt. I don't know whether you saw that, it was on social media everywhere. But the people who were pushing that negativity, it was women. Actually, we should start with our mindsets. I had an opportunity to work with the Inter-Religious Council of Uganda, and we had a workshop of gender mainstream, of gender violence science, pushing women beyond the obvious spaces. And one of the ladies up country there stood and said, but how can I stand in church and a woman is leading someone? Really? I mean, these things are for men. Women, why should a woman even? So she tells me to kneel down and I realize, she tells me to close my eyes. No. These are things for born agains. Now, she was a woman talking like that. So it is important that we stop that type of getting into the bandwagon of saying women are supposed to be this, women are supposed to be this, just because the men who had opportunities to set the agenda, that's what they set. it is time we unset the what? The agenda by rediscovering our potentials and reimpose ourselves in the spaces. Allow me to take this opportunity to welcome the minister to open this laboratory because
people must have knowledge. You have to speak from a position of knowledge. When you are a journalist, if you are a journalist, whatever story you write, you must write it from inside the story so that people can see that you are informed. I think we are not doing badly. I've been following many of the young women journalists on television. We are doing very well. On radio, we are doing very well. But I also know that underneath there, our young journalists, our women, are facing a lot of challenges, which some of our male counterparts do not face. I know that under there somewhere, there looms the danger of sexual harassment. Underneath there looms the danger of telling a young journalist, a woman, that if you cannot work after 5 a.m., then you should go. Now, some of our women journalists, if she's pregnant and she's told we work up to 5 a.m., how can she do that? If you don't, then we are doing a disservice to our women folk. One time I read a story in one of the dailies, and the name is Withheld Without Request. Front page. This was one of our colleagues, a female woman member of parliament, and there was a rumor that she had separated from her husband. So, but this woman MP had actually organized a very, very big workshop for the youth. And she had organized a lot of money, I think it was 150 million. So here we are, mainly male journalists, but I think there are also about 2 female journalists asking her, Honorable, now before we talk about this program, we want you to clear the air. Is it true that you divorced? She said, but I have come here to talk about this program. No. Let's get it out of the air. Was it because your husband was had a... No. We hear that you had a side dish. We hear that when you went to Parliament and your husband is doing some other job, you became, that it went to your head. You failed to carry out your... She tried to explain, but they went on and on. Then at the end of the day, what she told them about the program, but the front page headlines were woman MP says her husband had a son. Something ridiculous. Full page. Then at the end, they wrote and said the woman, member of parliament, also organized 150 million shillings for the youth group. When you are writing about a woman, you have to do it through the lenses of a woman. And know where we are, know where we have been, and where we are going. And there's something you talked about, and I remember talking about it. It is very, very important that when we are training, when the mentorship programs, we must know that not all our women are aware that they are in bondage. It's like when there was slavery. When there was slavery, some of those slaves did not realize that they're in bondage. So sometimes do not blame our women. They don't know. They don't know that they're in chains. You'll find them unfairly criticizing their women folk. So if you come up and say, no, you're trying to defend the woman, they say, but that is not how our women behave. It is because they are not yet aware of the women's rights. And so we still have a long way to go. But if we keep on bringing out the negatives, it's like we are ourselves condemning our fellow women, which is not fair. And therefore, when you are writing these stories, concentrate on the person of the woman, on the character, rather than on her hair, as you are saying, somebody's bums. What has somebody's bums got to do with the way she performs? Excellent performance, but they will pick on something small. It is actually, most of it is sensationalism. There was, one time there was an advert, and it was all over the streets of Kampala. And actually, I took it upon myself. I looked for those people who had put up the advert. They were advertising chicken thighs. So they put there this, I think it was a man, and you know, the way he's holding this thigh, the chicken thigh, and the words which he was saying, it was so vulgar and obscene, because they were connecting the chicken thighs to women's thighs. And I said, how can we have such an advert? This is demeaning women. We shouldn't have it. And I personally looked for the promoters and I told them, this is not correct. Advertising space, we have a lot. We have a lot of gender insults. You look out for those adverts and see. And yet we have got a growing population, young people, looking at those adverts. So really, gender mainstreaming, and our eyes are on you, even on radio. One time I did research. If you listen to local radios, I don't know, I think in Kampala we are doing a little bit better than up country. But up country, some of the FM stations, the language which they use when they are describing women is terrible. Like I come from Western Uganda. Akakazi bakakwasi. Akakazi is like, it's not even just somebody who is trim. Very, very demeaning. Akakazi bakahambe. You have to research. Get all of these papers. Do research. How are women being presented in the print media, for instance? And you will find a lot to write about. How are they being presented on TV? Is it positive or is it just stereotyping? So I want to urge you, as Iawrt, the element of research is very, very important. And as I've said, they can help you get funding. Yes. It is so, so crucial. Again, like when you go up country, some of these FM stations, they are championing witchcraft. Yes. You know, somebody goes and says, oh, my cattle were stolen, then I went to witch doctor in such and such a place, and they were able to recover my cows. Being a woman journalist, like I've told you, if you go to cover a story downtown, you are holding a camera, you know how it is. It's not easy, but you have been, you have persevered. You have persevered, and you know there are a lot of good stories coming out of you. But I want to encourage you, go on without fear. For those male journalists who think it is their right to harass the female journalists, you better look out. You know, some of them, even when we talk about sexual harassment, you know, in Africa, they may not realize it. Some of them think that it is the way to go. Like you are walking, or you are at your desk, then this colleague comes, a fellow journalist, but a male journalist. Good morning, and he's scratching the middle of your palm. That is sexual harassment. But people may not realize it. Even the men may not realize it. Maybe they think that that is how it should be done. Or you are walking and a man hits you on the bum, and they think that that is normal. Very abnormal. That is sexual harassment. So also bring out stories of sexual harassment, because our women fear to bring them out. I wish you very, very fruitful deliberations. Thank you so much.
Minister, I don't work alone. I work with a board of 7 members. I would like, before you leave this room, to see these people I work with. The lady who is in charge of the money, if she wants to give us money, she's God Rose. Freya Naranga is a board member. Linda Chimombo is a board member. And Irene Biroji, she's not yet here. She's a board member. She talked to you. All these people you see are responsible people. You can see they are not 18, 23, 22. So when we talk about pushing the agenda of women, we are talking, we are within our own interests. We're not doing things out of conference presentations. We are doing things that matter to us. So this is the team, the core team that we are working with, but we have several other members of Iawrt. We want to believe that we want to share our experiences, the positive and the negatives, so that we build a team of women journalists that can make this country proud. For both boys and girls, because we are mothers, we have boys and girls. So we want to have that balance. Thank you so much, Minister.
Can I
Someone was talking of, training. Those of you who can afford it, I would encourage you to, upgrade and move up. Because you are not going to stay at this level and grow. You have again to, add on value yourself. So last year, I was the recipient of the prestigious Media Life Achievement Award. And this was in recognition of outstanding contribution to media, journalism, and communication in the state of the Department of Journalism and Communication at Makerere University. And remember, this was the first training institution for journalists at degree level. Then I was the first PhD graduate at Makerere, and probably in Uganda, working within the country. Of course, there are some in the diaspora. Because they are not here, we are not able to know. Then I was also the first professor at the department, and in Uganda, probably, there could be people out there that much we don't know. In addition, my contribution to the scholarly world as a scholar and researcher was recognized. I have 33 publications, and as a long-serving practitioner, one of the longest in the media. Starting off as a journalist, associate professor and professor. I'm now engaged into research in addition and consultants. So next year, I'll be clocking 4 years in media practice. That is not a short time. Some of you may be wondering, why does it take you so long to get to the top? You have to contribute to the body of knowledge. You have to do research and publish. And when you publish, you do not sit down and dream of things. You have to base on other scholars. That is the difficult part of it. And this research, or what you want to publish, has to be evaluated by international standards. And in our developing countries, we are still growing. We are not at their level. For them, it's easy to publish because there is a lot of information available, which is not our case. So that was just to motivate you also to be able to move into academics. Those of you who have the interest in that. People talk a lot about gender mainstreaming, and people think it's some giant out there. So in brief, this is a strategy for promotion of gender equality between men and women. It's nothing about just women. And I'm also glad that in this mentoring workshop, we have gentlemen. And these are not men. They are gentlemen, to be able to appreciate that we as ladies are also equal to the task. Now, the process of gender mainstreaming requires mentoring. It depends on what media anyway you expose yourself to. If you are interested in say pornography, you know where to get it from. If you are interested in a decent paper or media, you know which media to tune in. Because media gets most of these issues from society and gives them back to society, media does not dream of these things. They get these events from society. So media acts as a mirror of society because it shows what is happening in society. So it is a measure of society or a barometer of society. In this way, media influences perceptions on gender equality, depending on the way media handles gender issues. Engage in gender mainstreaming to try and promote equality between men and women. So how media handles these issues is of great impact in society. So when we are talking about gender issues in the media, what are we really talking about? So here we are looking at these issues qualitatively and quantitatively. What is the volume of the coverage that women and men get if you compare the two? Is this the same in terms of frequency? We tend to get more coverage for women around Women's Day. I guess all of you know March 8th. So between about 5th March and 10th March, one can claim, but there is more coverage for women. But that is only for that specific period. Looking at some of the factors probably why the women don't appear as much. We know that even in most of the high-ranking jobs where opinions are sought after, academics, policymakers, we have fewer women than men. So it is only understandable that even there they appear less than the men on issues to do with experts or commenting or analysis. Some time back, there was a research done in Kenya and Uganda. We have the Uganda Media Women's Association here. In Kenya, they have the Association for Media Women in Kenya. They did a research, but this is a bit 9 years ago. And they looked at several newspapers and the coverage of women. So among the issues they looked at were the number of stories written by women. In other words, where are the journalists? So they found that this was only 16%. Remember, the global average was 37%. So it means we are still far below the global average. They looked at stories that had female sources, where people were being interviewed or quoted. These were 19%. Of course, that is still very low. It means women's voices are not being heard. Front page stories, which were written by women, were only 4%. It means most of the front page that has the most impact, everybody looks at the front page before they go inside, it was dominated by male journalists. You two have a lot to do if you are to be somebody of substance. Nobody is going to teach you everything a lot of things you discover by yourself, self-education. So find time apart from partying, good time. So, catch up with news, globally, things, climate change, health, sciences. So that when you're writing a story, you can surprise your editor by putting in something very relevant. You will surprise them. Next time there is a training, they say, you let her. And she's worth it, she's of stuff. But if you keep reproducing the same things, nothing you show added value, you need to update yourself through self-education. Above all, you need to have self-confidence. You cannot be confident when you don't know what you are talking about, or what you are writing about. You are confident when you know what you are talking about, when you have information on this, and up-to-date information, not information of 2000. A lot of things happen in the communication world. So you should always try to be updated. A journalist, is somebody who should be knowledgeable about a lot of things. In order for somebody to see that you are really somebody, you have to be confident. Confidence is contagious. If somebody, is talking confidently, you will also, they will believe in you. But you need to believe in yourself first to have that confidence. And that comes with, knowledge. In 2010, it was done again. There was an increase of 3%. Not bad, but not good enough. It came to 24%. Now, in 2015, the findings were not very interesting. They were a bit scary. As we shall see later on, the overall coverage of women was still 24%. There was no increase in the 10-year period. It was worrying. Now let's just have a summary of these findings from the global picture. The print media had the most coverage, 26%, while radio had the least, 21%. It is only understandable that even there they appear less than the men on issues to do with experts or commenting or analysis. Some time back, there was a research done in Kenya and Uganda. We have the Uganda Media Women's Association here. In Kenya, they have the Association for Media Women in Kenya. They did a research, but this is a bit 9 years ago. And they looked at several newspapers and the coverage of women. So among the issues they looked at were the number of stories written by women. Remember, the global average was 37%. So it means we are still far below the global average. They looked at stories that had female sources. Elections had 12% stories on women, and the global was 31%. So women still are very much underrepresented in these areas. So what are some of the emerging issues that we should be looking out for? We note that there is a low number of stories with gender perspectives. People are still writing with the mentality that whatever serves the men will serve the women in the same way, which is not the case. So reporters in Uganda and Kenya, for this case, because this was a joint research, lacked the skills to see events using a gendered lens. Normally, women and men are affected differently by different issues. So we should be able to show how each is affected. Now, to be able when they don't. So we should start from the starting point of creating awareness among all journalists, not just female journalists, and I'm glad this workshop has both, that indeed there is a need for gender mainstreaming in the reports. there was also a low number of female sources. The men tend to be readily available to give views. The claim is that females shy away from, being, say, recorded, talking on record. But also, the blame should be shared. Sometimes the reporters are not persistent. If one is not willing to talk on record, try another one who might be willing. So don't give up once you go to 1, 2 people and they say, for us, we don't want. Try, others. There must be some who are ready to talk on record. It doesn't mean that no woman wants to be recorded. So what is depicted in the news remains largely from the predominantly male perspective, basing on gender or sex. But here we see a lot of attention and focus on the men. No wonder they say that media, we are urban-oriented and male-oriented in the story originally, so that the editor gets it easy at the end to look at both and let go. But if there is just the male perspective, sometimes the person also has a lot of work on the desk that she cannot go to rewrite the story again to put in the female perspective. So generally, we still have low gender awareness in the media houses. Some of you have been exposed to these gender training workshops or seminars, but you don't do your work. You are supposed to pass all this information to others, because you're not going to be writing all the stories yourself. You're supposed to be sharing so that others also become aware of such issues. They may not be doing it on purpose, but because they're not aware of the impact. Then editors, managers, those of you who come to these ranks, please try to make sure that you enforce some of these issues. You insist on, say, the reporters bringing, say, a story with sources, say, at least, not even if not equal 5 men, 5 women, but at least some semblance of attempting to balance the equation. Most of these editors don't really, once they have the story, they let it pass in the communication world. So you should always try to be updated. A journalist, is somebody who should be knowledgeable about a lot of things, such that this is even reflected in your story.
You're looking for pops on a specific topic, let's say this East African passport. You know that it is an issue concerning all of us, all Ugandans, be it male or female. But you're gonna find a very big problem having the female talk to you. I don't want to stereotype, really. I hope I'm not stereotyping, but the females are really, they have the thing of shying away. I don't know if you can help us on how to find those tactics of luring them into feeling comfortable with these gadgets. They really have a problem with the camera. You'll find that you'll have a lot of men feeling comfortable responding to any topic whatsoever, but even the issues that concern the women themselves, they tell you, me, I don't want to appear on camera. Yes, I don't know if there's any advice you could give us on that. Thank you.
And yes, the blame is on our side, because we have everything it takes, or whatever it takes, to go and dig out the authentic voices from the ground. We want to look at the women who have come to Parliament, and yes, it's true they don't want to talk. I covered Parliament for more than 5 years, and all the time we were running to the same women. If it's not Matembe, it's Kadaga. If it's not Kadaga, there's a lady from Bondibujo, Salam Musumba. So we had like a closed group of women who were confident. The other problem that way. I don't know if the solution comes from us, but on our side, we can go as deep as we can to look for the authentic voices from the communities, from the schools, from the villages where we are. There are women that are doing a lot of things on the ground, empowering other women in the education sector, in the markets, and their stories not told.
That has happened so much with us journalists lately. I don't know if it is about maybe we lack confidence, we don't believe in ourselves, We are just journalists, as the name is, and that is a full stop. We don't consider having research. You find a journalist, we even have journalists who are called press conference journalists. Like, this is someone who is going to go to a press conference, they get their camera or recorder, just put it on the table. Whatever is being said is what they're going to take back to the newsroom. And then you find there are those journalists that will always ask questions. When they come up to ask the maybe ministers, the MPs, or whoever person that spoke, the same person will get their recorder and just put to tap on what their colleagues are already asking. And then there's some, so in such, you realize that when you listen to radio, when you watch TV, you're going to find the same bites everywhere. You're going to find the same angles.
Telling that few women reporters go for politics, they concentrate on science and technology kind of stuff. But I believe men have their strength. Women have their strength. We have seen shows like Oprah. We have seen Kasukari for BBS. We have seen Straka. She used to work on WBS. We have seen Nandaula, BBS reading news. Nakas were reading news. We have seen Teta Stella presenting a Chintabuli. We have seen Fredia Rwanga presenting diary. They are doing well. Why don't we concentrate more on their strength, more than concentrating on these things which are tough for women?
These, supposedly women who are supposed to be expressing themselves, but they can't even, offer an opinion. There are two sides to this. Sometimes we blame these women, but it's not really their fault as such. You've grown up in a system that places you where you are, and you've kind of come to accept it, that, you fear even talking out that it may be wrong, so you better shut your mouth. But others who have opened up, sometimes they say funny things like Matembe, but still she has made her mind clear. So it takes time to build this confidence and what you call empowerment. There are certain things, because we know about them, we assume even others will have the capacity to analyze them, to be critical. They may not actually be. So they fear expressing something where they don't have kind of authority to comment on. But you as a journalist, you can do something for them. For instance, I have some students whom everybody kind of had given up on. But by encouraging them and making them realize their worth, that they're not as hopeless. You try, you do this, sometimes they come up. So it's better you leave those vocal women to talk and listen. But you as a journalist can encourage them, move from this kind of agreeing to disappointment to also express themselves. It's somehow some character that is in them that they have not outgrown, but you can help them, speak up.
That those of us who can contribute to changing that, to making it better, not necessarily changing it, but maybe trying to make it better, more useful. And when I say useful, useful to whom? And I think Professor is really her last point. My children, my grandchildren are going to live in this country. What sort of country are we creating for them? Same as your children, your grandchildren. As we disseminate the news as journalists, are you also considering, is this helpful? Is what I'm writing the truth? If it is the truth, is it a truth that adds value? Or some truths sometimes you can put on the side and forget if they are really going to cause more problems than good. So as journalists, you really have such a huge impact on so many people. When I speak, I'm speaking to 30 of you. But when you speak on whatever media you have, you are talking to thousands. So that's how important you people are, and maybe don't realize how important it is that you should put the right message out there. So I'm here to try to motivate you. And my motivation is, normally, yes, I can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You leave this place knowing that you can. Okay? You've got the technocratic side of this, so I'm not going to try to be a journalist at all, because I'm not. But individually, you as somebody employed. And then, as the media, I'll just touch on a little bit of. So I'll start with my own story, which I think many people find motivating. Lucky to be a child and pray for you and you get a daughter. So they actually went. So I'm here because people want me here, right? Then they got 2 more boys, but you know what? They never went back. They knew where to get daughters because they did the first time. But they didn't go back. What does that say? I was enough. So can you imagine? You are wanted, you are enough. Now find a husband who can tell me I'm not enough and I believe him. Find a husband who can beat me and I don't walk out the door. Yeah? So it affects the whole of your life. The fact that this thing was put in front of you. And throughout my life, I had brothers. They looked after me. But they also challenged me. They fought with me. So I learned to fight as well. I learned, so many things from them. Although they also spoiled me a lot in many ways. So I was given the best education as parents who love their daughter and want her to, they didn't say that, the boys go to school, and I got the best, actually, in that home. So yes, go to Makerere, go to Gayaza, and education is important, very. You are lucky you're a journalist, which means you got it. You got it. So every day thank God for that, but also know it gives you the challenge that you have to pass it on. It's not for you alone. What you know is for everybody. Okay? So you need to pass it on, which is why I'm here. I'm not here because I have too much time to spend or I am bored. No. I am here because I feel I should. If I can add to your life, I should add to it. Hopefully I will not distract from it, but you never know that could be the end. So my education, Gayaza, I am grateful, gave me religion. I would not have got it. If I had not gone to Gayaza, it was something I would have missed. So I am grateful. One thing that Gayaza gave me is the 10 Commandments. I know they sound boring, but they say, just look at them again now. Look at them. And if they guide your life, I don't go for overnight prayers. I don't tap. I don't. Because the 10 Commandments say that. Yeah? So they are very clear. They are very simple and they are very clear. So really look at them. And if you can live your life with those ones, the women fly, then 51% of the population will be this, and that was good 5. Because I'm a stingy 5 person. Everybody knows me, the little children in nursery school. Either Navio's mother or Maggie Chicos. They do. So you've made me a problem because I can't hide, I can't misbehave, because everybody knows me. So, first of all, who are you? Know yourself. What do you stand for? And be consistent. The day you find Maggie Chicos drunk on the road is the day you really let down and say, hey, was this the lady? We thought was this and the other. Okay? So, be authentic. Stay who you are. I'm not saying you should not drink. That is you. I enjoy my drink, that's okay. Be consistent about it, you don't have to hide it. And, so be authentic, know yourself. Have your principles. What do you believe in? And they shouldn't change with the circumstances. This is happening, so this time it's okay, let me do this. Issues like corruption. You say, me, have not. Okay? And you never. And you are confident. You walk to Parliament to meet the parliamentary committee. They have come up with all these things. And I can sit there and be confident that, no, I have never touched your government money. I don't need any of it. And you can have confidence in doing that, in where they already have plenty of time to look for knowledge, they are seeking it. When you are busy with your kids, you're dropping kids, you're picking kids, you're feeding whoever, so the time constraints. So for the ladies, and that's why our work is so important to us here in this room, is finding time for us, and finding knowledge for us, and finding motivation for us, and that is actually what the ladies need. When I was at the UIA, when I got there was not a single woman who had licensed her project. Nobody, not even one. So we started from zero. I asked my staff, even the women, I said, we invite them, they don't come. Because what they do, they invite a sector. Flower sector, you come. Traders, you come. And of course, all the men flock in, and the women do not come. I said, no, let's go for these women in a special way. Let's get them, let's train them, let's build their capacity, and I want to thank a lot of the media. I know some of you were there. You were there, Eunice definitely was there. They helped me along. New media played a key role in the Uganda Investment Authority Women Entrepreneurs Network. We became sexy. Business women became sexy. People wanted to hear their stories. You guys would come looking for them and interviewing them. I have a big picture, maybe in the business page of Josephine Okoto or whoever. So even them, they said, oh wow, I am important. Meanwhile, they create 1,000 jobs. But they've been believing, I am just a woman. So you made them what they are. Now, the next stage is make yourself what you made my women. Because you succeeded.
One group that is disempowered, then you have gender-based violence. Because the conversation has not been brought to where the boys are. That conversation, and things have changed. I can no longer, because my grandmother would have to look for his husband, and the food now always after when am I going to go recently? But somebody has a chapter of 1920, 1950. My dear, this is 2018. And we are crossing over to 2019. So we need to look into, and I have known some men who sleep. Just did it. Is that good? No. So he sleeps, and the woman goes, and does what? And brings the money, and the other one. Is that healthy? No. So we need to look into all those things. Equity is often viewed as a favor, whereas equality is a fundamental right. So we need to look at gender relations. This refers to how men and women relate to each other, resulting in manifestation of gender-based power.